video is for all the people who let relationships consume them. This is for all the people pleasers who are constantly pouring into people and getting nothing back in return. And this is for the people who are obsessing over someone and need to take the power back and start focusing on themselves. I always believed that I was doing something great just by helping people, and I'm not even gonna lie, I definitely got a boost of my own confidence and my own abilities when I was helping such broken people. And with that, not only was I carrying the pain that wasn't actually mine to carry, but I was also just overextending myself to people who would not do the same for me at all. I was constantly pouring from an empty cup, hoping to get something back, and that just filled me with resentment and made me absolutely hate relationships, not want to be around people, not want to be meeting new people. And it wasn't until I lost all of the people that I was pouring into so much that I realized how much I lost myself in these relationships. My obsession with them actually had nothing to do with them, but everything to do with me. Hi, welcome back. For those of you that are new here, I'm Taylor. I make self-development and fashion videos, and I'm actually making a reading vlog soon, so stay tuned for that. We're kind of all over the place, but you know what? It's fine. Today's video is something that's actually very dear to my heart and something that I am currently healing and working towards every single day. I actually made a TikTok video about limerence and how to cure limerence, and it ended up doing really well and resonating with people, so I kind of took some of the ideas from that video and decided to expand it into a full video. Although this isn't going to necessarily be about limerence, it's going to be about obsessing over somebody and turning the focus back onto yourself and taking all of that power back. Because typically when we are obsessing with somebody, we kind of still are in this little state of limerence, but I can always make a whole video about that topic because it ties into a lot of the other issues that I would like to talk about. If you're sick of losing yourself in relationships and want to take all your power back, then please continue watching this video. Obsessing over someone tells yourself that you are not worthy of love. Obsessing over someone tells your dreams that they are not worth pursuing. And obsessing over someone tells yourself that this person is more important than literally every single aspect of your life, including your mental health. A lot of times I find that we obsess over somebody when we're actually avoiding something within ourselves. And that obsession becomes a coping mechanism where we can distract ourselves from the real problem at hand, and we can turn the attention towards what we feel as though we're getting from this other person when everything that we need is inside ourselves. And I know that it becomes so annoying when every single guru is telling you that, but I think once you really deep dive and understand the concept of everything you need is in you already, then this video is going to make a lot more sense. How do we stop obsessing over someone and start focusing on ourselves? Step number one, just like anything in our lives, is you need to admit that you actually have a problem and that you're obsessed with this person. This could also be to a certain situation in your past or a certain situation that's currently happening or a certain outcome. I find that we become so obsessed with the things that we cannot control, and that almost fuels our obsession even more. Step one, we have to admit that somebody has their invisible claws in us and we need to get them out immediately. Curing your obsession is actually admitting that you are the one that has the power. You have the power to control your thoughts and control your mind, not the other way around. Something that I learned from the book The Secret is that if you are feeling bad, that means that your thoughts are bad, because a good thought and a bad feeling can't coexist at the same time. So I think a really good place to start with trying to control your thoughts is to see how it is that you're feeling in your body. If you're feeling bad, if you're feeling anxious, it means that you're thinking really bad and anxious thoughts, and it means that you're fueling this obsession. Be conscious of your thoughts because they control literally everything in our life. I had a sick obsession with somebody for almost a year, and it does not help that I have a BPD, so that definitely makes me attached to people that I probably shouldn't. But I would literally sit on the couch for hours wondering, like, what is this person doing? Why are they not texting me? What's going on? Are they talking to somebody else? If we had plans at night, I would literally plan my whole day to make sure that this plan went perfect and that everything was good and that I was good, and like just obsessively think about the plan and this person day in and day out. It was so unhealthy. And all this time wasted on obsessing over somebody else was literally a year wasted on, number one, things that I cannot control, and number two, not pursuing my dreams and my goals. It wasn't until everything kind of crashed before my eyes that I realized how much time and energy and focus I was putting on somebody else until they were removed. And sometimes it takes us getting hit by a boulder from the universe to really wake us up out of this delusion. And I am honestly so grateful for that experience, as painful as it was. to have been pulled out because I was completely losing myself in somebody else's world and somebody else's life, and was really, really sick from it. Like, really sick. Step number 2 is to get busy. If you just broke contact with this person, or you guys just broke up, or you're in a relationship and you're just trying to navigate it better, you need to get busy. If you ever hear people say, oh, you've been keeping busy, and like there's kind of this like negative connotation towards it of, oh, you're just distracting yourself from your problems. But I think initially when you are obsessed with somebody, whether you're still with them or you guys just broke up or broke up even a year ago, you need to get busy. You need to create that physical and mental distance from thinking about this person and being around this person. Most times we obsess over who we want somebody to be rather than who they actually are. So a lot of times the out of sight, out of mind method really does work. Stop checking their social media. Stop checking your phone to see if they text you. Stop looking at their friends' stories to see what they're doing and where they're going. Literally stop giving yourself this fake dopamine hit that you believe that you need to get from this person, and understand what they're doing and what's happening. You don't need to know. Honestly, sometimes it's best if you do not know. When our addiction is so strong, we literally need to break it mentally and physically. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I know over the summer, I literally escaped to Italy for a month to break my obsession with somebody. And although I did think about them sometimes, I kind of sat there and was like, you know what? I'm in Italy, I'm enjoying my time, I'm meeting new people, I'm focusing on what's going right, and that's really what's gonna help you is stay busy, stay focused, do what you have to do. I don't care what you do as long as it's not detrimental to your health, but take a pottery class, go for walks, join a group or a book club, start reading. I love reading so much, not only just because I love diving into stories, but because you can only focus on reading like at once. You can't focus on reading and doing a bunch of other things. You have to fully dive into the book, otherwise you're not going to understand what's going on. So pick up reading as a hobby, pick up ballet, go to the gym, hang out with friends, go travel somewhere. Traveling is so healing, and that's why I always tell people to travel, because traveling has just healed me in so many different ways. Like I said, I was in Italy for an entire month and it was the best experience of my life. You cannot be sitting here thinking about when they're coming back, when they're gonna text you, what's going on with them. You literally need to keep yourself preoccupied to get them off your mind, and especially not seeing them as much. If you're still in a relationship, you need to end up finding new hobbies and doing more things with your friends. Whatever you have to do to ease out of this obsession with somebody, please do that, because then we can actually go into the healing and see why this obsession started in the first place. Step number 3 is the healing process. So now that you've created some mental and physical distance, we can actually get to the bottom of why it is that you were obsessed with this person. We attach ourselves to the things that we believe to be ideal, and in that attachment, there is a void that we believe that this person is filling for us. Somewhere along the lines, your self-esteem and your self-worth was diminished. That could have been through your childhood, that could have been through bullying, that could have been through social media, that could have just been through you comparing yourself to other people. Whatever it is, people who are fully in love with themselves and feel whole within themselves don't attach and obsess over anybody else. There's this need of validation that you believe is only able to come from this person that you are obsessed with. And that is exactly the root of the issue that we need to be solving. We become attached to the things we believe we lack, and we become obsessed with the things that we believe that we lack. People don't overwork themselves because they love their job so much. They overwork themselves because there's a deep void within them that is needed to be filled by the work that they are doing. People don't attach themselves to other people because they love themselves so much. Our ego becomes attached, and we believe that this other person can fill a void that we cannot fill within ourselves, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. Everything you need and everything you desire is found within. And anything you are looking for outside of yourself, I can promise you, if you haven't figured it out now of why you're constantly disappointed by people and by certain circumstances, it's because that all of those things you believe you need from everybody else in every single other situation is found within yourself. Obsession causes us to put somebody else on the throne that we should be sitting on ourselves. You're putting somebody else's needs before yours. You're putting somebody else's problems before yours. And if you're anything like me, you find a deep validation in helping people that are so broken. And that is so detrimental for you, yourself, and your mental health. People who are self-obsessed don't put anybody else's issues and problems above their own, and they honestly just let people deal with what they have going on themselves. People pleasers have this need to appeal to other people before they can appeal to themselves. And it's not because they love people so much and they're such an empath and they want to help people so badly, but because there is this need within them that gets filled by helping people. And there's this validation and acceptance and belief that now we're finally in community with this person. Feel wanted and appreciated. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, the people that you're people pleasing for and that you're going the extra mile for, they don't do anything for you. And I stand by that because I have had so many relationships. Unfortunately, it took me a very long time to learn this lesson, but now it is so engraved in my brain, it is never gonna have to be learned again. You see how obsessing over someone gives somebody else so much control over your emotional state, so much control over your entire life. You are literally giving somebody your brain, your energy, and your heart, and that is something that you need way more than them. I have been doing a lot of inner child healing, and so I even put myself as my front cover, or not front cover, as my wallpaper on my phone, because you know what? I need to carry little me. You can't even see because of the light. Whatever. I'll post the photo here because I'm so freaking cute. You need to be reminded sometimes that when you're attaching yourselves to somebody, typically it's not adult version of you, it's actually the little version of you. And I like to almost separate the two of them and think, okay, what does little Taylor need? Why is little Taylor obsessed with this person? Why is little Taylor feeling all of these feelings and like letting this person completely control her emotional state and everything in her life? Even thinking that you are now in competition between this person you're obsessed with and little you. If the two of them were in a room and you had to pick one and how to run to one and how to save one, which one would you choose? I know I'm saving myself time and time again. Step number 4 is, what are you trying to avoid? Escapism is an addiction that we all suffer from, whether it's social media, drugs, alcohol, relationships. I'm sure there has been a point in your life where you have been dealing with escapism. Obsessing over someone is also a form of escapism. You are escaping yourself by seeing life through the lens of somebody else and putting all of the focus on somebody else. So I want you to sit back and ask yourself what it is that you are distracting yourself from. What is it within you that you are using this other person to distract yourself from feeling, from doing, from being, something that happened in the past, anything. What is this person distracting you with? Is it the fact that you hate your job and you want to actually get out of the industry and be in a more creative industry? Have you always had this business idea but you just never had the courage to do it? Are you trying to avoid the fact that you're actually very unhappy in the city that you're living? Or are you trying to avoid being alone and feeling alone and doing things by yourself? Obsession becomes a form of escapism, and just like any single form of escapism, it is a coping mechanism. Sometimes the things that we desire the most are also the things that we fear the most. And like my mom has always told me, there is nothing to fear but fear itself, because fear will literally hold you back from everything. Fear is what will keep you stuck. Fear is what will literally be telling you that you can't do it alone, that that's not a good idea, that this person is your world, that you should focus on this person, that they are your outlet, that you will literally not be here without them. It's all lies. It's literally all lies. I have found that some of the most talented people are the ones that avoid the work they're supposed to do the most. And I know this because I have been one of those people and literally been in the chains of fear and shame and guilt for so many years and avoided the things that I knew were meant for me, that I knew I wanted to do, with partying, moving, people, trying out things that I knew weren't for me, but you know what? That I fit into the crowd just by doing them. And it all has led me to so much unhappiness. And sometimes that's exactly the journey you have to go on. You have to go all the way to the bottom to then be like, oh my God, I am not happy. I got everything I wanted and I'm still not happy. Something's wrong. It's ironic how we can go our entire lives trying to find our purpose, but most of us run from it every single day. Step number 5 is to get clear on your dreams. Once you can figure out what you're avoiding, you can actually figure out what it is that you're trying to bring into your life. Think of pulling all of your energy back from this person or back from this situation, and think about how much energy you're gonna have to actually focus on the things that you wanna do in your life and the passions that you have and the people that love you, that are actually giving you the love that you deserve. You sit there and you obsess over someone and you obsess over how a situation played out and what somebody did to you and everything in the past and how somebody treated you. You are literally just handing them energy. Like, money everywhere. Think about pulling all of that back. Literally think about your energy as currency. You would not go on the street and just hand somebody $100,000, would you? I hope not, unless you have it like that, which if you do, good for you. But most people would not just do that. So that is exactly how you have to treat your energy. You have to pull all of it back and you have to harness it, protect it, and save it. What are your dreams? What are the things that you wanted to accomplish? What are the things that you would love to focus on? What would you be doing if this person did not exist? This one helped me a lot because I would always invest so much time and energy into my relationships and making sure that other people were okay and all of their problems, and like wanted this great relationship. And it's not that I don't want those things, but I also realized that I have things that I have to do in this lifetime, on my journey, on my path, and I can't make a relationship my whole world and my whole life, and you should not either. You have dreams and passions and a reason why you are here, and you need to figure out that reason and you need to pursue it fearlessly and ferociously. I love using big vocab. Yes. What are the thoughts that have been in your brain for so many years that you just have not acted on? What are the business ideas that you've always just been too scared to pursue? What rooms would you like to step in that you think you're not qualified for? Because honestly, it's never no until you try. Are you where you want to be right now? Because if you're not, I can assure you, you have no time to be spending obsessing over somebody else. Stop obsessing over somebody else and distracting yourself with somebody else. You know exactly what you have to do, so let's stop playing games and thinking that you don't know what it is that you should be doing. You know exactly what you have to do. And you owe it to yourself to become the person that you always dreamed of being. Think about little you. Would little you be proud of where you are right now? What would make little you happy? Step number 6 is my last and absolute favorite part of this video, and it is called the let them theory. This is the most important, and this has really allowed me to draw back my energy from so many people, family, friends, relationships, literally everybody. Much as we would like to, the let them theory basically explains that you cannot control what somebody does to you, what somebody says about you, how somebody acts, how somebody handles situations, anybody's actions, literally anything related to somebody else. You cannot control it at all. You cannot change somebody else's behavior. You can only control how you respond to it. If somebody's moving weird, taking too long to text you, breaks up with you, ditches you for plans, let them. If someone's being mean to you, let them. Your ex moves on to a new girl after a week of breaking up with you, let him. Literally, let people do what they need to do. Let people learn the lessons they need to learn. Let people make the mistakes that they need to make, and let people act how they want to act. People's behavior has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. And I hate when people are like, people treat you how they think about you or how they feel about you. That is not true at all. People are facing their own internal battles and their own thoughts about themselves. I know a lot of people who have come back to me years later and been like, damn, I treated you like that because I was going through this and this was happening in my life and blah, 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 blah. It had nothing to do with me. And I hate how we try to take responsibility for like things that are out of our control and think that, oh, just because someone's acting like that, they just don't like us, or that they're just doing this. And I'm not trying to feed your delusions at all. I'm just saying that let people deal with their own internal battles. If somebody's struggling with something and it's affecting you, remove yourself and let them figure it out. Indifference is literally your biggest superpower. Obviously, if somebody does something to hurt you or betrays you, you're gonna feel hurt. And I'm not trying to tell you not to feel hurt by that, but feel that hurt. But also understand that people's actions have nothing to do with you. They are not personal at all. You lose yourself trying to obsess over what somebody else is gonna do, what their next move is, and trying to control their behavior. Obsessing over if somebody's gonna hurt you, why somebody hurt you, is literally just a waste of time and energy that you can be using spent on something so much more valuable that's actually going to make you into something and be so much more beneficial for your life. Let somebody's character speak through their actions and just fall back and observe their behavior. If you don't like what you see, leave. Literally, you don't need to sit there and kick and scream. I used to always be like, let me correct people. Like, let me show them what it is that they're doing wrong, and let me try to guide them, and let me say this and that. No, no. Talk less. I'm someone who literally, I'm always have to be like blah 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 blah, and like that's stuff my dad used to do, and oh, it's a nightmare. But you know what? Once you learn how to talk less, people will actually start responding to you way more. If people want to be weird, let them be weird. Literally just watch them and be like, haha, what the hell, and move on. You don't need to sit there and be a part of it, and you don't need to sit there and stress and make it all about you and obsess over them and want them to do better and then get frustrated when they can't. You need to be strong enough that when somebody shows you who they are, you have the strength and the trust in yourself to leave. You're no longer sitting here holding on to false hope. And that is, I'm talking to me, because I'm somebody who's always like expecting people to change and hoping people change, and I'm disappointed every single time. Instead of hyper focusing on what somebody else does, hyper focus on what you can do, how you can control your emotions, what you should be doing in your career, where you should be going. Keep your eyes forward and on the prize. And you need to trust that no matter what anybody does, you will have the strength to get through it. You have the tools to get through it, you have the knowledge to get through it, and you have the support team to get through it. And if you don't have anybody, then you have me, and you have my content and my videos. But you need to trust in your own strength and abilities to literally overcome anything, and then you'll stop reacting so much to other people's behaviors and just be like, damn, that sucks for them. And then you'll move on. You can either sit there and obsess over somebody and how they treated you, or you can pick up all the broken pieces and make a better future for yourself. It's up to you. I can now say that getting out of a toxic relationship, I trust seeing people's behavior and knowing what it is that I want and what it is that I do not want. I trust that if somebody betrays me, I will be okay and I will be able to move on from the situation and take the lesson that was obviously given to me by the universe and just continue moving. You literally just have to keep it moving. Nothing is the end of the world. It's just the end of the world as you thought that you knew it. Sometimes the things that we cling to most are the things that we actually need to let go of. Your obsession with anybody but yourself is one of them. Don't allow people to take up your headspace to the point where you are literally debilitated by it. This is your life, your experience. You are not a supporting actor or actress in somebody else's reality show. You need to take control of your life, and by taking control of your life, you are taking the power away from this person and your obsession away from this person and putting it on yourself. You have to turn the focus on yourself. Shift the spotlight, because I can promise you they probably don't deserve it anyways. Well, everyone, I hope that my words resonated with you. I know that was a pep talk for me as well, because I always fall into obsessions with other people and my own fantasies about them and who I want them to be. And you know what? It is so tiring and debilitating and just draining, and it never works out. So the focus needs to be on you. You are never going to regret working on yourself. You are the biggest masterpiece in your own life, and all the energy that you put towards everybody else, once you put it towards yourself, you'll be like, damn, why did I even give all of that out in the first place? But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to support me. Thank you for everybody who has been subscribing and commenting. You guys are literally amazing. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say for now. Wishing all of you love on your healing journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! I will never get used to that.